episode?
Yeah, like the stream title, and I always forget what it's supposed to
Oh,
be.
I have one. I have one.
Well, I already did it. It's something just generic and lame. I wish I asked you.
Ugh, I
We can.
have thoughts for part of this. You let me know when it's my turn to interject.
Well, maybe for the actual pod episode too, we can always use it. This is just on the live
Yeah,
stream, so yeah, people are chill.
they're not gonna light us on fire.
I don't think so. Like we only have a few people most of the time. They're pretty forgiving. So
Yo, that
hopefully,
chat gets lit. Don't play.
yeah, that's true. It actually is pretty
Yeah.
crazy chat. All right. Well, we're live, y'all. We're on Twitch, YouTube. You know how it is. They're keeping us in suspense. It'll be fine.
Are we live on YouTube? I'm gonna try to have it open too, so I can look at the chat.
It's always Logan and our boy Science in the chat, dude. And YouTube.
Swords.
And I think also maybe my mom. I'm not sure who that was in the kitchen that one time. I think that's my mom. Actually, there it is.
Oh,
YouTube
like
is rolling.
my mom's
Okay.
one of my greatest supporters. Maybe it was my mom.
My girlfriend's mom and her aunt actually watched last episode, and they sent me nice things. But last episode was a lot of curse words, more than usual, I would say, above our average. So they were a little bit shook, I would say.
Ooh.
Esra, Teza, if you guys are watching right now, hello. And we'll keep it clean this episode.
We can have a no swear show one day and see how that goes.
Yeah, or we just get a swear jar, and then we can use the all the
Ooh,
quarters
I
for
like
something
that.
good at the end of the year, you know,
Yeah, you
Shit.
got
like a
to.
live show.
All right, you ready, dudes?
Let's get
Dude,
it.
yeah.
Oh, I know. We can make it rain. Oh yeah. See, that's good. That'll give incentive. We can give away the swear jar on the live show.
Oh, that's true
Oh,
too.
Dude, prize
yeah.
money? All
Prize
like
money, dude.
$3 that'll be in there.
All right, you guys ready?
Let's get
Twitch,
Yeah,
it.
ready.
Roll it.
YouTube, what up? We're gonna go ahead and get started with the pod. And we're gonna make it happen. So thanks for hanging out with us, and we're starting. Dude, we're here. I'm Mark,
And I'm Vic.
and from LA to your ears, we are To Live and Talk in LA. I don't know if I like that one.
I thought it was kind of cool.
I was vibing.
I
was vibing.
Okay, we'll do it every week. I need to build on. We're 12 episodes in, I think, and I feel like I need the intro like I had the last shows. This is kind of a serious commitment, Victor. We've practically moved in together.
Basically,
Yeah. So
you know, I commend you for doing something new. You had it reeled down. You had the same one every time. I'm like The Simpsons. I just do a different exit every time. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. You know.
oh, we should have 3. So then when people listen, the listener will say, "Oh my God, I wonder which one it's going to be today."
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
That's very Simpsons of you.
I
Now
we're
cooking.
gonna figure this out. Let him cook. Today we're gonna let someone else cook with us too in the kitchen. It's a hot one, and we're hanging out with our girl E from Some Assembly Required up in this bitch. What's up, dude?
What's up, y'all? I like how we were just talking about cussing and you open right up with a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Evelyn way. What's up, y'all? And great to be here for the first time on To Live and Talk in LA. You guys are killing it out here.
We are doing it, I think. We're doing it pretty well. And I'm excited to have you on with us because, one, big fan of Some Assembly Required.
Oh, yeah.
You know the drill on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or however you get your podcast. But Victor, she has a very thoughtful and impactful show, which is kind of the polar opposite of us.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's good balance for what is going to happen here today, or what doesn't happen here today.
I think you add a very different element to our dynamic, I would say, because, you know, carrying a one-person show, getting into these topics, I feel like we're just ping-ponging around, and you, like, have a podcast with, like, purpose and, like, thought and stuff, and we kind of need that sometimes, I think. So this is good.
But also, this is kind of a nice break for me a little bit because, yeah, I always bring that into like literally everything I do in my life. But I like hearing you guys chat like literally every week that I possibly can. I see Algo Poco in the chat my dude. I'm right, usually right in there with him,
Hmm.
just listening to you guys. So
Mhm.
shout out to everyone on Twitch and YouTube because I'm usually one of y'all and supporting you guys and this fabulous thing you've constructed. I literally cackle. Like I can't say that enough. I cackle like every week. And like these guys are so funny. So I'm glad that you think I'm at least minimally funny enough to bring me back on.
Dude, you all right? There's two things I want to touch upon. One is uh, the immaculate show prep that you do, and I saw that firsthand when you had me as a guest on season two. And I got nervous actually starting the show, so I had the Guatemalan with me. So she was quietly watching as a live studio audience. Shout out to Guatemalan. And so there's a loved one in the vicinity. I'm hanging out with E, doing some assembly required, and then it didn't really hit me, Victor, until she had the intro play, and I. It, she's actually like the reason why I wanted our own intro because she made her own intro. It's dope.
It's cool. It
It's
really
so
is.
it's so vibey.
Yeah.
You
What's
like I listen to it once in a while so I can remember what I talked about, like the Jersey Mike's, which we could talk about. But I was like,
Mhm.
what did I even say again? And I go back and I like vibe to my own intro. So I'm a big fan of this vibe, you guys. I saw Trill in the chat, which I'm like, yeah, absolutely. It's like the total Trill vibe.
Well, Victor, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Jersey Mike's?
Well, I'm gonna start very broad. I love sandwiches. I love sandwiches. They're probably my favorite food. Jersey Mike's is not my favorite sandwich shop, but it is the one I go to when I'm like I want something good, and they're everywhere. So I love Jersey Mike's. Why do you ask? What's up?
Well, if you've listened to, which I'm almost sure was the last episode of Some
Yes,
Assembly
sir.
Required, there is an odyssey of going to Jersey Mike's, and you don't have to do the whole story, but I mean, why don't you just give us the beats?
Yeah, I'll give you the TLDR.
Mhm.
This was my first episode, by the way, that I just like talked into a mic with no script, no notes. And of course, it's about Jersey Mike's. So Jersey Mike's don't come after me. Long story short, I went to Jersey Mike's. I ordered sandwiches. I thought like you could just order it and not have to give descriptions, right? Or like add-ons, like Subway. They're like, all right, what do you want? And you got to give them the full laundry list of things. I went to Jersey Mike's once and they gave me like a quick Sammy. So when I went back and ordered a bunch of stuff and they started asking me questions, I was all confused. And I thought this woman was asking if I wanted my sandwich microwaved. She was saying Mike's way, not microwave, Mike's way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know what Mike's way was, which, like, for the people, my sandwich lover Vic, what is Mike's way?
Mike's Way is just with all the fixins. That's how they say it. I think they're geniuses because it's like this question they have to ask everybody to just make them instantly uncomfortable and like let you know if they've been here before, right? So it's like the Mike's Way question is just a test of faith.
Yeah, I failed, dude. I failed. They put
It's tough.
me on the chopping block and my head was like my neck was guillotined. Like I was done. And then I proceeded to have one of the worst experiences in checkout with gift cards that were being declined. It was
Awkward.
honestly, I talk about Fighting Fridays, and if you guys ever get a Fighting Friday vibe, like that was it. I wait to the end of the week so I could punch somebody at Jersey Mike's for asking me if I want a sandwich Mike's way.
Well,
She wasn't
eh,
ready.
the one part you omit from this is you're taking a long time to understand what microwave is versus Mike's way. Then you get to the part of the gift card checkout. Then there's also the fact that you have a cop behind you
Oh yeah.
ordering
I'm
one sandwich.
sweating, dude.
Yeah,
One deputy with one sandwich and me with five sandwiches. Okay. And then
mhm.
I still have the audacity to pull out not one, not two, but three gift cards. And all of them are declining. I'm sweating big, dude. I'm sweating.
They don't even have to call anybody. They're just like, hey, take her away. She's a fraud.
Like literally, I was
Tough.
like, am I gonna get in trouble for taking up this much time? Like, no.
This might sound very stereotypical, and maybe this will offend you and the other people, but I figure that you would have been to Jersey Mike's a handful of times. I feel like Jersey Mike's would be right up your alley.
It's just, I grew up in the hood, man, and Subway was the way in the hood. You get a $5 foot long. Jersey Mike's was like something that was expensive. So literally when I get it, it's in Palos Verdes. Okay. That's on the hill of millions, millions, and millions of dollars of homes.
Jersey
For
Mike's used to be fancy. I feel like now
Is
all the sandwiches, Subway has lost themselves. I went to Subway in Malibu a couple weeks ago and it was like $22 for a foot long sandwich. I'm like, and
whoa.
chips and a drink. And I'm like, this is
whoa.
fucking nuts, dude.
Wait,
Get
are
me
you
out of here.
saying $22 because you actually paid $22, or are you being so out of touch with the common man that you just threw out a number and you
No,
just didn't even think about it?
that is on the receipt. That's with
What,
No.
tax.
dude?
They asked me for a tip and I'm like, ah,
Mhm.
they speak
I
Spanish
did
here.
also
Okay,
tip.
I'll give them a tip. Like,
Yeah.
but it's like 20, anything above $20 at a Subway is crazy. And I just haven't gone back anymore because I'm like, I can't eat here for 20. This is crazy.
I love Jersey Mike's. I'm a fan. I get it Mike's Way all the time. I'm so you should have called
Should have
me
asked you first. Shit.
on speed
Sorry.
dial. I would have got you, covered you. I would have told him about my rewards, and because I'm a big fan of the shore, I would have taken care of you. If you called me in a pinch, I'm your Jersey Mike's lifeline for sure. I don't know if I've talked about it here on this show, but the Guatemalan loves Subway, and for the longest time, she would want to eat there, and I would say, if you really want, but maybe there's something else. And she's like, no, I really want Subway. And I said, fine, fuck, okay, I'll eat it and I'll figure something out. About maybe a month or two ago, I think Subway kind of flipped the script and they started doing the freshly sliced meats.
Oh,
And this could be you advertised on our show because I'm talking about this.
Whoa.
that's
Subway
cool.
actually, I think, turned a corner with their whole new approach to everything, which, I mean, I don't really need someone to saw the meat in front of me like they do all the time. That's not really a requirement. It's
I
a
like
nice to
it.
have.
Yeah.
It's a nice to have. And then, but Subway, I guess, started doing it. And that one time I ate Subway, most recently, it was actually pretty damn good. So Subway might have won me back.
This
Whoa.
this now
Mm.
bumps Jimmy John's down to the bottom of the bracket because they don't cut their meats fresh. Their stuff is
For-
just ready to go. It's good.
Jim, Jimmy John's tagline is essentially, "We're gonna get you the fuck out in 20 seconds."
Yeah.
They pride themselves on super fast service, which is they're not even asking what they want. They will just give you what they want, kind of like omakase. They'll just put whatever they want on a plate and then they'll give it to you and say, "Here you go, Jimmy John's." I don't like Jimmy John's.
That's for a certain somebody who's very busy, I think. And I want to take it slow.
Yeah.
I want a little bit of, force sandwich, a little bit of action.
I feel like Jimmy John's is kind of like the corporate CEO guy who essentially finds a dominatrix to step on his balls because he has no power when it comes to that. And it's kind of a power shift.
Hmm.
That kind of guy likes Jimmy John's.
I think you nailed it.
I'm like, I've never been there, so it's definitely on the bottom of my totem pole.
I have
Um,
a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead. I talk too much.
I didn't mean to talk over you. Well, I was gonna say I have just before we move on because these moments can get lost. I have a Jersey Mike story that I just want to tell really quickly,
Oh my
Hit
God,
us.
and
yes.
then I want to hear whatever you think about it because you're next. Um,
Mhm.
so I went to Jersey Mike's this week, and I walked in. There's no line. I was very happy. Got right in there. It was really quiet. Usually I stay out of their way because this Jersey Mike's at my house is crazy busy, and they're just like hustling. So I told them what I want, whatever. I'm standing there watching them make my sandwich. Mike's Way, no onions. He's just doing his thing. And then I see him making a sandwich next to me. It's a fun size one. It's the little one. And all it has is mayo, like 6 stacks of bacon, and then
Mhm.
chipotle mayo. And then he closed it up and he wrapped it. And I was looking at the guy and I'm like, damn, that's a crazy sandwich, dude. Is that like a custom order? Like, what's that? And I was making this face like, who the fuck orders this? And he's like, that's for me. And he was making his own lunch. And he was so busy, I guess. But he made
Yeah.
a bacon only sandwich. I
Huh.
think that's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't think you could do that. Bacon and mayo only.
Dude, they're unhinged at Jersey Mike's. Like they're just trying to start problems at this point.
I think when you work somewhere that produces a food or drink, you
Mhm.
just get bored and you start like pushing the limits. And then you have to ask yourself, like, when is it too far? I think if you're working at Starbucks, you're probably mixing all kinds of crazy drinks. You're jacked up all the time. At Jersey Mike's, he found himself with a bacon only sandwich. And I'm like,
It's that's
you
interesting
get it,
because
bro.
working at Starbucks is the reason why I like black coffee
Hmm.
because My first 4 weeks there, I was, oh, free drinks when I work. Here's my iced coffee con leches. Here's my caramel macchiato upside down. Here's my caramel frappuccinos and mocha frappuccinos. And eventually you hit the wall of sugar, or I guess whatever it is that you're eating. And you just say, I can't do this anymore. I can only drink black coffee straight up. And it's because after making everyone's drinks so fucking sweet, after drinking everything under the sun of syrup and sugars, your body says no mas. And I just went to black coffee because of that. So I can see the concept behind bacon and bread. It's essentially a weird variation of a taco
Mm.
because it's the bread is just a carrier for the meat, and he just hit his limits, dude.
I guess so. I just think a black cup of coffee in terms of sandwich is like a turkey sandwich. I think it's just
Mhm.
simple. Bacon, I feel like, is like having a cup of caramel, for coffee instead or something. It's like so indulgent. But you know
Mhm.
what? I was so embarrassed in that moment because I was talking shit about his sandwich that I was just like, oh wow, man, that's awesome. Do your thing, bro. And I
Make
just
me one of those. You know what? Throw my sandwich away. I want that one.
double mayo for me,
It sounds like Jersey Mike's has a secret agenda, my dude. They're just trying to put us in the hot seat, you know?
maybe.
Well, all right, while we're on the topic of food, I needed to talk about how I think this should be a crime, a federal crime. Um, I think I don't know how we feel about this collectively as a group. Tipping right now. How do we feel about tipping? We for it? We against it?
Everything is so expensive.
Everything's
I
expensive, but like it just in the theory of tipping, and you can be anti-tip. It's totally fine. Because I'm pro-tip, but I'm hitting a limit. But I just want to know where you guys stand before I go off on this whole thing.
I've actually changed my tipping policy as of last week. I've also hit
Oh,
my limit. I was at Shake
okay.
Shack last week and I just tipped them zero because I'm like, I ordered on a machine. They couldn't even give me grilled onions. They there's no service. I have to get my own
Hmm.
water. I just
Yeah.
I just gave him a zero, dude. I'm over it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pro tip, and then I
Mhm.
saw a TikTok last week that was like, if I have to put in my own order, I'm not tipping. And then I was like, ooh, I probably shouldn't be tipping as much as I do. But I'm
What
curious to hear where you're going with that.
was it, that lady on the train video?
Ugh, I have no
Oh,
idea.
okay. Because there's this lady on a train and she's affecting all of us. Anyways, Mark, go ahead. She was very compelling.
Well,
But
okay. In the grand scheme of things, I'm cool with tipping 20%. And my first thing is I am grandfathered in like everyone's unlimited data plan with AT&T, which is I am holding on to 20% in 15 years, even in 4 weeks, in 12 weeks, when everyone starts tipping. Hey, the standard's 26, the standard's 30%. I am grandfathered in 20%. I'm set in my ways, like an old racist. So that's all you're getting from me in terms of dining out. 20%. That's my standard.
it's pretty good.
Good or bad, I'll give you
That's
20%.
high. That's high.
But when you order coffee from places or you order food from someone, and it's not so much it's just an automated system. It's they leverage the touchpad so you can use Apple Pay or whatever to pay. You put your card on there. In your brain, you go left to right, which is okay. I'm getting ready for this loaded question of if I'm gonna tip. I already have this thing like, was the person nice? I don't know if I'm gonna tip 18, 22, or 28%, whatever. Like I'm gonna go down that battle. Left to right, 18, 20, 22. That's how you would read it. This one place actually flipped the script. So it was 25%, 20%, 18%, like a manga, reading it backwards, right? And I said, no, you can't do that. That automatically disqualified the tip because if I'm going by default, I'm going to go with the lowest denominator, which you'll do because maybe I'm too lazy and I don't want to hit custom 100, triple check to make sure I didn't put 100. I'm going to hit the lowest one. What you tried to do is you tried to bank on my autopilot and you tried to have me tip 25% on this one. And I wanted to write my congressman, I wanted to email the Better Business Bureau and say, this is not allowed, dude. I always talk about standardizing everything like sizes for cups and drinks or spices, spice levels. You have to standardize the layout of the user interface of tipping, which is it's low to high. You can't flip it because at some point, and you know this is gonna come, it's gonna be a random jumble. And it's gonna be we're gonna just the AI will figure out, hey, we'll put 20 in the middle, we'll put 18 in the middle, and like they're gonna kind of fuck with you. And you need to get on top of that now. I know people are talking about the ozone layer and, LGBTQ, but this is something that needs to be
These are the
happening
real
right now.
issues.
Yeah, which is don't fuck with me on that one, dude. Don't do that. That's fucked up. I thought that was completely wrong, and I was legit upset at that.
So did you tip them less than the options on screen? Did you go custom?
I tipped them 0 at that point.
Wow. Hey, nice.
Yeah.
Good on you, dude.
What kind of establishment was this?
It was a place. It was just a random ass it was a food place. I can't remember what
Mm.
it was, but they were totally trying to
That's dirty, dude.
they were trying to uh they were trying to take advantage of my autopilot. And if I wasn't in that mode, if I didn't catch it, I would have over tipped. And I know there's new, and then I noticed like in the chat and YouTube, Logan's like, "Oh no, we're talking about tips. We're talking about tips because I'll put her on blast. She's like, you tip everybody. You have to tip everybody. I'm like, I'm not gonna tip the fucking iPad stand who took my order. It didn't say anything to me. And no, I'm not tipping that guy. That's just the rule of thumb. 20% is all you get. When inflation goes up, I'm tipping 20%, and that's it. No mas. I ain't going up.
20% used to be high. You're saying 20% like that's all you get. I'm sorry. Like that's
I
Yeah,
still
I
pretty
feel
know.
fucking
like that's
good.
high.
That's what
It
I
That's
is,
tip when I
high.
want to be nice to people. I tip 20%.
but
Dude,
that's
I even go 18 sometimes. Does that make me shady?
I'm being
No.
well here is my thing. I'm being generous right now. I know I'm being generous. At some point, it's not going to be generous anymore, and it's going to say you only tip 20%, and I'll whip out the whole back in my day speech. 20% was the fucking gold thing. I don't know if you guys did this. I totally did this, but like I missed eating out when COVID happened, right? And you didn't have anywhere to go.
Hmm.
You had a lot of money, right? You didn't tip anybody because you were just like you tip your DoorDash driver or Instacart or something, but you weren't eating out regularly. And I remember I was like, "Oh, I was waiting to like be hugged by the server because I haven't eaten out in a while." And then I had a bill of $20 because I just got like a burger or something. I tipped 20%. So I was $20. I was 100% tip on that. Nothing,
Wow.
dude. No hug, no Drake's God's plan
Whoa.
played. Nothing.
You're
And I
just
was
sitting
like,
there like this with your arms open waiting for
yeah.
it.
You
Nothing.
I practically should have brought out the check, the giant check to sign and be like, "Hey, I'm changing your life with this 100% tip." And I didn't do it because it was like it garnered no reaction. And I said, and people are probably asking, "Do you only do good things to get good reactions?" The answer is yes. I am not above saying that. So I did that, and I got no high five, no thank you. I'm currently in the middle of filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Like nothing. I didn't get that satisfaction.
Obligatory post-COVID. You gotta give the shout out for a 100% tip, my dude. You have to. That person's garbage.
You
Thank
gotta
Straight
you.
not
up.
tip there anymore
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
equalize it.
What do you tip your barista? That's a question in the chat now.
$1.
If it's Starbucks, dude, or like Coffee Bean, I feel like those corporations should just pay those folks enough.
Hmm?
So if I'm literally like mobile ordering, I'm just walking in and grabbing that guy, I'm not tipping, dude.
Wow.
Is that awful? I'm a bad person.
You're
I'm
a
not tipping.
badass.
Yeah. There we go. Making
Shit,
changes out
dude.
here.
Damn.
You that bitch, dude. Yeah.
Dude.
I
Get
do
out the
feel
way,
guilty
dude.
though. I feel like they know somehow. Like I walk into my usual Coffee Bean and I'm like, do they know? Do they know? But for the longest time, the app wouldn't let me tip. So I was like, fuck
Mm.
it, it's the universe. Universe doesn't want me to tip. You can't argue against the
It's
universe.
the app, dude. Sorry.
But I checked
Yeah.
because I have guilty conscience and it's working now. So fuck me.
I drink a black coffee. All you do is pour espresso into it and pour ice into that. That's not a tip. My tip is, hey, I come in, I say what's up to you guys, I say thank you, and I'm your easiest customer yet. All I do is walk in and walk out. You don't even know I'm there. So that's the tip right there.
That's worth something.
If I were to order something crazy like a grande cappuccino bone dry with the drizzle of caramel, okay. If I order 6 drinks, I understand. If you're making me black coffee, I'm the least of your
Wait,
worries.
why are you even buying black coffee though?
Because that's the shit, dude. Black extra ice Americano.
I feel like you go like somewhere to get something different that you can't like make. I understand like, there's a limit to that. But I feel like black coffee is you're just like pouring water over a coffee beans. Like you could actually just get a Mr. Coffee for that.
I could, but I don't because I'm stimulating the economy.
That's true. You're giving back.
I'm giving back,
All
dude.
right.
People get to break bread with me. That's life, dude.
Giving back, but not giving tips.
You don't want
I'm
to give
giving
back
back
too
in
much.
spirit. Yeah, that's what I do.
Dude, so you had a show this last weekend. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yes.
I did have a show. It was at the Ice House at Pasadena, and it happened on Saturday. And there were a lot of people who showed up, and I appreciate that. Me and Victor got our own little photo op.
Mm-hmm.
Which was marvelous. I caught that.
Thank you, thank you. I wanted to and Victor, you can tell me about the set all you want, or how much you loved it or hated it
So
or
funny,
whatever.
dude.
But I want to take a moment to gush about the venue, which I never do. I've performed in a handful of clubs, not a lot, so I don't have a lot to go off of. I love performing at the Comedy Store because there is history there. It's the Comedy Store. It's in Hollywood. It's a mecca. Richard Pryor built the place. Like that was his room. A lot of history. It's great. It is old, and you could feel the history there because it's that old. The Pasadena Ice House, I guess, went through some renovations, and I think I caught wind that it's in the Bus family now, who owns the Lakers, and I don't know which Bus is doing it, but I think it might be Jeannie because Jeannie's married to I can't remember his name now. I'm totally blanking on him. He's a comedian, Jay Moore, and they totally renovated the place, and I've never seen anything like this. Which is, I go there's a green room. Some places have a green room, some places don't. They had a TV feeding into the room, so we're in a complete different room, not like next door. It was like kind of on the other side, and we'd watch it from the green room, and they had a mini fridge. And I said, "Wow, dude, I've never had anything like this in my life." That
Was it
felt fancy as
stocked?
fuck. It was stocked with drinks,
Whoa.
non
What
non
kind?
non-alcoholic beverages. It had Sprite, it had Diet Coke, it had Coke, and it had waters. Evian, mind you.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Evian, yeah.
Damn.
And that kind of hyped me up, man. That kind of hyped me up to kind of just do the show. It made me feel like it was a big deal, and it was a big deal because I haven't performed since July. I feel like it's been a minute, and for me to kind of get that rust off in that kind of stage, there was a lot of people who were there, and it was a good time, man. Victor, what did you think?
I had a really good time. I also really liked the venue. I think
Mhm.
I've been to the that show before, right? Cuz you guys have some like people that you kind of that little crew, and
Mhm.
it's always very enjoyable seeing them, seeing what they add, what they don't, and like there's some funny people there, but I think you did great. I think that dude who had the guitar was hilarious, and everybody hated him. But I thought that was really funny. Uh,
Mhm.
I don't know if like, with comedy. I have a question for you guys. If you're watching someone who's on stage and they're making you laugh, but like you're laughing at them more than like at their jokes, is that wrong? You know this guy that I was talking about, Evelyn. I don't know if it's probably harder to say,
I
but
mean, it happens. All in the name of comedy.
I think he was making me laugh, but it just was maybe not how it was intended. But I was having the best time. Mark?
I think at the end of the day, if uh, art is subjective, which is if you're
Yeah.
laughing, you're laughing. That's feedback, and you could be laughing with him, you could be laughing at him. It was a very his name was Scotty, and I do want to give him a plug, which was it was an experience, yeah, for that show.
I think that like
It
I
catches you out
don't
of nowhere.
I don't think that songs are supposed to be funny. That's right. I
Mm.
don't believe in funny music, but I think like I feel like doing it on stage and it was so like awkward almost. It was kind of like I felt like I was watching The Office live and people were like cringing a little bit, but I was leaning in, dude, and I had a very good
Mhm.
time. I will say about the Ice House, I liked that everybody had a table. That says a lot to me. I had my own table. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Sometimes you go places and you're crammed or whatever. The Comedy Store, like sometimes you're crammed in like a sardines in a little room and it just
Mhm.
feels bad. And I feel like that place everybody was respected. That's important to me.
Yeah, when you're buying tickets, you could pick where you want to sit.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wow, I've not
Whoa.
seen that like kind of elevated service, at least for me to perform. I've probably seen people who do that, but or who performed in those venues, but for for me to perform in that type of venue was actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of it did amp me up just a little bit to make sure I did the damn thing, which I mean I thought it was like a solid set. I was proud to put on for To Live and Talk in LA, which you can find on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or however you get your podcast.
Nice.
No, thanks, dude. It was a good time, man. Yeah, I did some new stuff, worked it in, like, and just just try to figure it out. It's like a puzzle, always. Just always trying to piece it together. Stand up is weird.
I mean, I've only seen you do stand up one time in my entire life. And
Mhm.
again, I cackled and it was a good time. So keep doing the thing, Mark. You already made it. You have a mini fridge. Who knows what's next?
Yeah. Oh, soon regular fridge.
Ooh,
Ooh.
maybe an alcoholic drink in the fridge? Who knows? It can
Oh,
get crazy out here.
Once you start getting
yeah,
free beers, you're in, dude.
Yeah.
yeah. I know. It's I want. Yeah, I want to have a writer. That's what I want. If I ever have the chance, hypothetically, like I know we're all grounded people because we're not podcasting millionaires yet, but do you feel like if you were to make it big, would you have a writer? And if you did, what would it be? Because everyone's all like quiet. I will say I would totally ask for everything because the you know
I'm
I,
like, wait, what? What are you talking? A writer?
a writer. So a
Like
writer.
the thing, like when you're in Ellen DeGeneres' little back house and she gets you all the shit you want?
Yeah, so like Guns N' Roses is a very perfect example. I think it was no, it wasn't Guns N' Roses. It was somebody. But like when you perform, part of the contract is I'm going to perform, you pay me, but also I have a list of the X, Y, and Z that I want in
Oh,
order to make
yes.
this happen.
I'm doing
It,
that.
it
Sign
was
me up.
it was Van Halen. Van Halen actually, I think it was Van Halen, and what they asked for in their writer, and this is very strategic on their end, was they asked for only yellow M&Ms. And that's because if they paid attention to the rider, they paid attention to everything, which is they have a very extravagant set, which is it could lead to death if you fuck this up and you kind of skimp on the building.
Hmm.
If if you neglected the small things like the yellow M&Ms, you probably neglected other things that would keep everyone safe. So they did that.
Hmm.
For me,
Genius.
I'm just up there fucking telling dick jokes. I'm asking for a rider. I'm asking for things. I'm asking for sparkling water. I'm asking for gummy bears. I want gummy bears on
Nice.
deck.
I thought you were
Dude,
saying like a writer, like someone to
No,
write
yeah,
that's
no.
what I
jokes.
thought at first too.
I
That's
was
why we
like,
were
I don't know
both
if I
literally
need a
dead silent.
writer.
Right, like yeah. So, like, what would you put on your list in order for you to perform? This is part of the contract.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go.
So three things, just because you said food, and I can think of my go-tos. So, a peach Snapple, not diet. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
number one. I think if I'm just like behind stage, I just want like snacks and stuff, right? So I'm keeping it pretty chill. I would like some Trolley Bright crawlers. I think those are the best.
Oh,
And
wow.
then also a peach Red Bull. That's my favorite Red Bull flavor, but I don't know what kind of mood I'm gonna be in. So either Snapple or Red Bull. It's got to be peach though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm with you on the trolleys. I'll add to that the Nerds rope clusters. Have
yeah,
you guys had those?
those are good.
Sucker. Oh my God, incredible, dude. Incredible. I have a bag open in my room right now. I'll add the Red Bull as well, but I'm gonna go traditional flavor because some days you're just not in the mood and the original always hits.
Mm.
And LaCroix. Got to. Any of the citrus flavors, none of that hibiscus shit. Like
Yeah.
maybe like sliders.
Ooh.
That's about all.
Okay.
Yeah. Sushi off of a naked model. That's gonna be
Ew, but that's gonna sit out for a long time, you know?
yeah, but like
Gotta eat it
I
fresh.
might pick at it, I might not, really, but I know it's there. You know,
How long do we have our own retainer?
till the end of the show. That's just that's what I want. Evelyn in the chat, you brought someone to the yard. Let's go E. So
Hey, BD
BD
Burn.
Burn in the house representing for some assembly required.
Let's go.
Yeah, but like I want to be popular and I want to be famous and I want to be out of touch. That's kind of like my goal.
Dude, your Instagram profile pics, your lifestyle photography are winning. They're giving celebrity right now.
You're
That's
doing some good stuff.
Yeah, thanks guys. You're really hyping me up. I need this in my life.
I'm here for it, dude. Send me a card.
Victor, you put some other things in it. Let's let's go down that
I'm
rabbit
seeing
hole.
Yeah,
something scary. I'm gonna segue. Is that crazy?
do
Oh,
it.
I'm
dude.
gonna be 30 this year, you guys. Can
Oh
we just talk about
yeah.
that? I'm a little
Oh,
afraid. What was 29 like for you guys? What is 30 like? What can I expect?
Mark, you
Victor,
want okay,
you
so
start.
29 for me was a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed 29, but I felt like something great was ending. And I went out with a bang. I tried to throw the biggest party I could for my 30th birthday. It was pretty fun. I had a good turnout. I had a taco guy and stuff to really go at it, you know. But I will say that like after I turned 30, like birthdays have sort of lost their meaning for me a little bit. I forget how old I am sometimes. Um, so it's good and bad. Like they say your 30s are your best years ever. Like I feel pretty happy right now. Things are good. But
Okay, okay.
I feel like something was escaping me when I was 29, you know?
I
Mhm.
feel the same. So, Mark, what do you got?
I think the 20s were pretty rough on me in terms of I didn't really know what I was doing, and then I realized all of a sudden I was to the later years of my 20s, and I started to kind of get a little bit better at life. So I started kind of figuring things out, like showering and keeping up with myself and making sure I look presentable. And I went into 30 kind of owning it. I said, you know what, this is my time. This is gonna be 30. You're not gonna be 20 anymore. And it's your 20s are kind of like it's just being a teenager on steroids. Not really, because I didn't work into a professional job for all my 20s. I worked at the fucking Apple store. So I felt like I was just kind of just floating along and I wasn't really doing much and I was just hanging out, having a good time, playing video games, getting drunk. And when I got to the later part of it, I started to figure it out. Like in a some assembly required kind of way, the come to Jesus moment happened when I was in my late 20s, and I said I kind of figured life out, or I got better at it, I should say. So I welcomed the 30s with my open arms.
How do
Yeah,
you feel right now,
you
Evelyn?
know, I do feel this something slipping out of my grips, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
I will never be a 20-year-old again. I'm not one of those people who cares about getting older, like bring 30 on, like I'm cool, but now I'm just like I'm a FOMO person.
Hmm.
So now I'm like, can I even talk to 20-year-olds? Like I'm not one of them anymore. I have to now. And then now I'm also doing this thing where like I used to refer to people as like, she looks like a 40-year-old, but now like the people that I used to say were 40-year-old are like 50-year-old. And I
Mm-hmm.
have to adjust my expectations. Like, who knew this came with 30? Like, and then when you're like 8 and you're like, damn, they're old. They're like 32. That's
Mm-hmm.
about to be me in a few years.
Well, according to the chat, you're gonna be a gilf.
Ew,
Nice.
grandma in the house.
Yeah, when you're, I mean, according to the porn index, you're kind of leaving your MILF era at in going into your 30s. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah, you're right. Oh my
mm,
God.
I would say something positive though. Like it's funny you say stuff like, "Oh, can I talk to them or do this, whatever?" Kids like I feel like once you actually pass through the gate of 30, very quickly you're like, I don't even give a fuck, dude. Like I feel like for me, I don't give a shit. I say whatever to whoever. Like I don't things that might bother somebody. I feel like I've leaned into that like angry old man who doesn't give a shit
mm,
like pretty quickly. Like I'm like I'm never gonna see that person again. Like I don't fucking care. I'm not mean, but I'm not like worrying about stuff. And you lose a lot of anxiety, I think, when you turn 30. I think for many of us, because you're just like I'm chilling and I don't look hip anymore, but it's cool. Like whatever, you know.
Oh, like I never looked hip to begin with. I've been wearing the same outfit since like the sixth grade. So bring fucking 30 on.
Yeah.
All right. birthdays in your 30s. Do we care?
No, I I I don't care anymore. Like the birthdays thing is kind of, I guess when you get into your 30s, you turn 30, that's a milestone. 31, no one gives a fuck. 32, when you get to 35, you'll start talking about it again.
Yeah.
You'll really start to dread 40 because I'm 37. So like I'm closer to 40 than I am to being 30 is that. So I might feel a certain type of way in 3 years from now, but I'm kind of ironically, I've gotten better as I've aged, in terms of being comfortable in my own skin. I look better than I did in my 20s. Like my 18 to 25 was rough, and it's because I'd make a joke about not showering. I just did not care about how I looked. So I was kind of like, maybe it was like a little bit of like I was kind of in a funk, but I kind of just didn't get it because again, I'm in my teens, but on steroids. I'm able to drink and play video games at my own leisure.
Yeah.
No one's telling me to do anything. It's like, okay. But then when you start to kind of get older, you figure it out. You're like, oh, I need to kind of control things. You get better.
Your brain fully develops. You start making decisions all of a sudden and weighing your options. And you're like, you know what? I do give a shit about what I look like. I did also have that experience in my late 20s. I'm not going to say no. Like, I recently started blow drying my hair at 29.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I made it.
That sounds
Are you gonna
good.
send? You're gonna sell us some multi-level marketing products now?
Dude, don't even start with me because one of my favorite activities as a child was watching infomercials. I will pitch some shit to you that you don't need to purchase. All right.
As long as I feel like I want to buy it or that I need it, it's okay though.
Yeah.
That's the art of it, you
Hmm.
know.
Dude, when
I'm
you
a hair care in the chat, dude. I'll pitch it all. Just let me know what you need.
being 30 will be chill. It'll be really chill. I
It's
think you'll
cool.
enjoy it.
It's like you go through
Listen,
a progression, I think. When
Mhm.
you're 30, you're like, you know what, this is a new bracket for me. I'm feeling good. And you're like leaning into it, like he said, you're getting comfortable in your skin. It'll get there. My 31st birthday, I tried to do something fun and then it felt kind of weird. I was in a lull. And now I'm 32nd. I'm actually turning 32 like next week, like a week and a half. And I'm not doing
oh
anything. So I think
shit.
it's like you ride the wave, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm riding the Victor wave where I'm like, I think I want to do a little something for the 30, you know? Like I never do like everybody get together, like friends and family and the random person I went to school with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so we might try something like that. If that goes down, you guys are totally invited.
Get a
You
Taco Bell.
guys and everyone in the chat. Taco Man for sure.
Then it's lit.
But if it doesn't happen, we never talked about this.
Mhm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at least you're not Robert De Niro having a kid at 80.
Dude, what I saw the headline like whenever the fuck he had his kid, and I was like, no, this guy is not like I thought this was like a joke headline that this man was having a child. He's how old now?
He's 80 years old
Mm-hmm.
and his child is 10 months old, you guys. So I wish I had the picture to put it on screen. I don't, but it's really
It's not
I
allowed.
think that's past the line,
I
wherever
mean,
that line is.
it's kind of a beautiful thing when you think about it because you only have to do one trip to the store for diapers.
True.
Ooh,
You're
True.
like,
but
you you're you're taking care of. That's like I don't know. I'm kind of okay with this. Like I know everyone's all like, "Whoa, my God, he's 80." It's like like this kid's gonna be all right. He's Robert De Niro's kid.
Kids are going to be fine. They're just not going to have a father, you know,
Yeah, but yeah,
after they're like 10 or whatever.
I
Like, who
mean,
knows?
bonus points. They might not even remember if he goes early enough, you know, knock on wood. Actually, Robert De Niro's a cool guy.
Yeah.
he might forget he has a kid, so it doesn't even matter to him anymore. Alzheimer's. No, but like I mean, here's what works in Robert De Niro's favor. He's Robert De Niro. You can go on YouTube, on Netflix, on Hulu, on Peacock, and you can. He has the kid has the luxury of having a whole library of different eras of his dad. He like his dad is timeless. I mean, I know we all are like looking at the picture of Robert De Niro, 80 years old, holding the baby. We don't see him like that to us. We see him as a younger version in his 40s and 50s, being Robert De Niro, being Raging Bull, and he has that legacy. this kid won't know any better. He's gonna be fine. It's not like he's gonna be struggling. Might be a nepo baby, which is kind of nice.
So fucking weird, dude.
I think
Like,
it's weird. My dad, my grandpa was 50 when my dad was born, right? And my dad always was like, "Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, he never really wasn't around for stuff. Like, but maybe De Niro is so old that he's doing grandpa stuff. It's like a whole different vibe. I feel like if your dad is like 70 when you're getting out of high school, you can't do like I don't know, can you even share a beer with him anymore? Like I don't know if he can his diet can hold it, like there's some
Dude, this
some
guy's
memories there
80.
you're going to miss.
How long? I mean, kid's 10.
He'll be
He's
90.
90?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. I don't know about that, man. I don't know.
He's like
Throw
on
throw
bed
the whole
rest.
baby away, dude. I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, maybe he makes it to his 21st birthday. It'll be Geritol and tequila shots. It'll be a party. I mean, that's something to celebrate. Is he? I guess the question is like, and this is a serious question: is he the world's oldest person to conceive a kid?
He might be the
No.
world's oldest dad. I mean, I don't know.
No
That's a good
way. We would
question.
have heard about this by now. I'm
I
looking
mean,
this up.
because no one said this is a Guinness World Record. So somewhere out there, there's a 90-year-old who's clapping cheeks and getting chicks pregnant.
I have
Which,
the picture on stream for everybody just so we can all join in on this. This looks like somebody stopped by the old folks home and they're passing the baby around, is what this looks like to me. It's tough, dude.
Mhm.
Okay. World's oldest father is believed to be 94 years old when he fathered his first child in 2010.
That's crazy.
He and his then 52-year-old wife had
Mhm.
another son 2 years later.
Damn.
Well, I mean,
So Robert doesn't take the cake.
love is love. But I mean, like we're all high fiving the 92-year-old guy and hoping he doesn't turn to dust from the velocity of the high five. But I mean, there is a poor woman who I mean, I would assume that she has to get on top. Like let's visualize this 90-year-old having sex right now. Everybody, let's think. Like close your eyes and think about a 94-year-old guy getting it in. What position is he doing this in? To can he still have the power to be on top? I don't know.
I think he's going doggy. That's
I
what I
I
think.
I was I was on the, he might not even be on the lay down and get crushed. He's probably
Yeah.
in a something where he just has to stand and deliver. I'm lean I don't know what she's doing, but for this guy, I'm like he's standing and doing the minimal
Exactly.
amount of action.
I think you put him under anything besides a blanket, he's gonna get some internal bleeding. He's so old.
Yeah.
He has to be doing doggy
I'm
with
literally like he's gonna get
some
crushed.
help.
Yeah, like I can just imagine like his pelvic area just purple from the
And
pounding,
the
dude.
liver
I mean,
spots.
yeah, they honestly, dude, like women are special. Like they will find a way. I mean, put me in front of a 92-year-old woman. I know you're probably throwing money on it. Like I'm like I have to go deep into the spank bank and figure this out. Like how am I gonna like get to the point where I'm doing it? Women, some women are just built different, dog.
I'm kind of curious what this 94-year-old man looked like at the ripe age of 94 to this 54-year-old woman.
Maybe he was a really young 94.
Yeah, maybe he had good skin.
But even then, that's rough.
Weird. Yeah,
That's
still weird.
dope, dude. They like
Like Hugh Mark in the headlines at age 98, like
yeah.
having his third baby.
There was a hundred it was a 106-year-old woman who got pregnant. No, I'm just kidding. Her dying like one of her things that she completed off her bucket list was to go to Disney World, and she did that. And I'm thinking we're talking about how like Robert De Niro's like busting babies out. Like, imagine going to Disney World in Florida weather as a 106-year-old woman.
You can't go on the rides.
I don't know, like a ride would kill you, right?
Yeah, you're gonna put 100-year-old person on the teacups? No.
I'm like, what is she doing at Disneyland or
Yeah,
World?
yeah. That's. I mean, you
She's riding
dream
the
big.
tram.
You dream big, you win big, dude. I love that. Um, what about uh, I, I see this too, which is talk about like feats and things. Bruno Mars being $50 million in debt to MGM Grand.
Bro, how?
He's
I
got to
mean,
have either a problem or he's just balling out, dude. Because I don't know how you can comfortably be $50 million in debt. You think he's still cool, or is he like sweating?
well, I think he's due. I
They're
I
gonna
mean,
think
call
if
his
it's
number
making the
pretty soon.
headlines,
just
something's coming after this guy.
keep gambling, Bruno. You're almost there. You're due for a big break. Um, I mean, if there's one thing to prove that he's Filipino, it's that right there. Filipinos love to gamble.
I'm like, isn't he also Puerto Rican? Because also wouldn't make sense. Just saying.
No, he's essentially doubled down on that.
Yeah, literally, I'm like, ooh, what a combination of folks to be in debt.
I
Just
mean, I
kryptonite.
I love me some
Yeah.
gambling. Do you guys love gambling?
I don't.
Eh, I don't care.
You don't
I've
care?
seen you gamble. You do love it. I'm like, hey, bro, let's go to the bar. You're like, 10 more minutes. He's
Yeah.
just stuck, dude.
I'd rather keep that money and spend it on like some French fries. Yeah.
Yeah, or a sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Fucking
get
$22 sandwiches.
you drink for
Sounds
free
so
when
good.
you're gambling. You're having
Yeah.
entertainment. Like I mean, I think I have I'm very thankful I don't have an addictive personality to gambling. I have an addictive personality to other things like maybe smoking or love. Love. But I don't have it for gambling. Like I'm glad because when I gamble, I only want to gamble in Vegas or in a pretty cool casino. Like I'd go to like Pachanga or Yamava or something. But like I feel like the low of the low, and if you're from LA, you know this is the City of Commerce Casino.
I knew you were
That
gonna say that.
if I ever am found there, you all, and I'm talking about you, Victor, and you talking to you, E, you're contractually obligated, listening to chat, to come find me in a parking lot and fucking kill me. Because that means I've gone too far. That means I've gone off the deep end in terms of gambling, and there's no saving me at that point. If
He's
I'm
got it
blowing,
bad.
yeah, that's like you're down bad, dude. In the City of Commerce.
I wish I had people over there to say I could keep tabs, but I'm just gonna have to blast everyone in the chat and say, go look at Mark Lee's face, commit it to your memory, and report back to Vic and myself if
Yeah.
you find him in commerce.
You have to honorably kill me if I'm at the City of Commerce gambling.
I'm gonna put
That
you
is
down,
just
bro.
yeah.
We will Mortal Kombat your ass.
Yeah.
It'll be slow-mo and everything.
However you kill me. I mean, it could like actually, I'd like to go like if I'm in that mode, I deserve the. I don't know if you guys have seen Better Call Saul, where Gus Fring puts a dude's head in a bag. I need to go out like that because that is the only way I would learn.
I'm
Being
gonna Walter White melt you in a little container in a
In a
bathtub.
vat.
Mhm.
yeah, sprinkle my ashes in the parking lot of Commerce or like the goop of what I become.
Take you to
Disgusting.
Buffalo Wild Wings, dude.
Wait, so you guys aren't big gamblers, huh? Victor, you were gambling when we were there.
I mean, if I'm in Vegas, I'll try. Like, but then after I lose like $80, I'm like, man, fuck this, dude. You know? And then I'm like, I'm just gonna go. Like, I don't know what to do in Vegas. I actually don't like Vegas that much anymore because I don't really like gambling. I don't want to. I don't like being drunk all day. Like, I could be drunk for like 2 days, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, I really don't know what to do anymore when I'm in Vegas. So I'm just kind of done with it all. I think
Like this
I
is
got it out of
30,
my
man.
system. Yeah,
I don't fuck with
exactly.
Vegas either. I'm good.
Probably not until I'm 35 will I be like, I need to be crazy again and go get like in Vegas and do it, But
I
it's
love
Midlife
gambling.
crisis.
Yeah, I
yeah,
love gambling. No, you go there to eat. That's the thing. You go to eat
yeah,
and you go see a show. Like
that's true.
2 nights in Vegas is the max you want to do. 3 nights and you feel like I'm bottoming out and this is lost in Las Vegas. And
Yeah,
you might as well just go take the whole rack off the wall in the liquor store and just drink it because 3 nights is bad. That one you're feeling raw. 2 nights is the sweet spot. You need to do it. And I think the sweet spot is like honestly, I know Victor, you got that you didn't like it when I pitched this, but like you got to go work out in there, and you have to like kind of earn your keep in that place, and just
fuck,
In
and
Vegas? In the
yeah,
time warp of Las Vegas?
you
dude.
got to do it, dude. You got to do something because then otherwise you just start bumming it, and you're like, nah, this isn't good. So like, you got to do that. Do
Well,
something
let me
active.
ask you this. When
Mhm.
you guys go to Vegas, is it a Vegas with the boys or is it like Vegas with a family or like Vegas with a partner? What's your Vegas vibe right now,
The boys,
boys?
100%.
I would do and I would throw a partner in there like very close. I think Du Bois is very special because again, like you're just with dudes and you just want to do dumb shit, and that's what it is. The family thing I don't really buy into. That's tough. I think if you go with a family, you have to have uh, an actual grandfather, not Robert De Niro, who's posing as a grandfather, was actually a dad, like to watch the kids and do family events while mommy and daddy go do things.
Yeah, I feel like with the family, like you just end up sticking someone with the kids so everyone else can go do fun adult stuff. You know, it's like I don't want to go hang out at Circus with these kids. You know, um, I think there's too many debaucherous things in Vegas for it not to be like a boys' trip thing. You know,
All right, this is
that's
this
me.
is the petition that I have then, because every time I listen to this pod, you guys want to talk about hanging with the effing boys, and I'm like, I'm not a boys with a Y. So I was like, how can I swing this so I can be one of the boys? That's really where I'm going with this.
Hmm.
And I came to a conclusion, which is I Google searched boys with an I, BOI, and that is gender inclusive. So I just want you guys to know that I am now one of your boys with
Yeah.
an I.
Okay,
Mhm.
And I'm inviting myself to Vegas to not gamble with Victor while Mark just
you
hangs
can
out
watch
by
him
himself.
gamble.
Yeah, we can just put the heat on, get smashed and have a good time. But I'm inviting myself to be one of the boys. Just so you
Actually, it's actually like yeah, Vegas. I think there are people who will party hard in Vegas where it will I think turn people off, where it's like it's just too much.
Hmm.
I think I'm the perfect amount of debauchery, which is I just want to gamble, I want to drink, but I want to eat a good meal too. Like if, I made a point with Victor when he went with us, like we're gonna eat something good every day. You know, it's not gonna be
I love
every
that.
meal is good,
Yeah,
but we had Hell's Kitchen as planned for one. We ate at
Oh, yeah.
Guy Fieri's restaurant as the other.
that
Um,
I did not like as much, but the
it
Hell's
wasn't as good.
Kitchen was dope.
Yeah, like but as long as you have something like that to do, you do it. Evelyn, would you go to a strip club?
I don't know what my business is there, you know? Like
What?
I'm not into I mean, I did just say that girls are more beautiful looking in general than men on like a higher ratio, you know?
That's
Yeah.
easy.
But I mean, I'm impressed. I would. I'm not gonna say no. I would. I want to pay these women the money that they deserve for the hard work that they're putting out on the floor.
Yeah.
Um, isn't my like I'm not going to Vegas of my own volition either, but if we're like going there as a unit, that's where the night's going, I guess.
See, uh, I think that's cool because if I was I went to Vegas once and I was in the bride squad. I was actually a male bridesmaid, right? I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
I'm
for
doing
that.
that next year.
Nice,
Yeah,
dude. You
it's
should.
cool.
It's the best thing ever.
I think it
You'll
sounds
have
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to go to a Thunder from Down Under or a male strip club, and they didn't, I would have gone. Because
Yeah.
that's part of the. Hey, I was invited to do group things. I will do it. I stepped away from that group quite a bit to do like because I wanted to gamble, and I did that, and I drank and I ate, and it was cool. I had my own moments, but when the group wants to go somewhere, and that's part of the commitment, you got to go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
also,
dude.
I feel bad for male strippers because when you talk about strippers, about female strippers to a guy, it's like, oh, nice, dude. Like, there's a little bit of like, there's perviness to it, but it's all done under like some kind of decorum, which is we're not like rowdy and
We're not gonna
hootering.
do anything, you know.
You're not gonna do anything. Women, when they see a stripper come out, they start screaming and laughing. And the last thing when I'm about to go into my elephant trunk thong is I need women laughing at me as I'm like gyrating my hips. That's not gonna hype me up, ladies. Just letting you know that right now.
You
It's a
know
different
what?
energy.
You're not the Thunder Down Under vibe, dude. Because those men want that. From ever at
Yeah.
least the video that I've seen, I'm like, these guys love this
Well,
shit. They eat it up, they play along, and then they go home with the fat check.
it's funny you say this, you guys, because Mark, you were pleading this case for the male strippers, right? And I was gonna say the strippers are into it, dude. Especially even
Yeah.
women strippers. Like,
Okay.
Yes.
is it a fucked up industry or whatever? Probably, but it's like I think they're making pretty fucking good money, and they are into it, dude. They come by. It's not like creepy. Like strip clubs, they feel like they feel super skeezy and weird, but it's like you're kind of just like sitting there drinking a beer, and the strippers come up to you and
Yeah,
start putting the moves on you. Like they're
that's cool.
aggressive.
It's honestly the ultimate form of LARPing, which is your live action role playing someone that's into me. Because
Yeah.
I
how often
love that.
yeah, how often am I sitting down somewhere and someone's like, "Hey," and they touch your shoulder and like, like you having a good time? No one fucking asks me if I'm having a good
Yeah.
time. No one asks me how I'm doing. They
Nobody
get
cares.
pissed off when I don't tip 28%. They start giving me shit and they do all these things that is like in the realm this is true customer service, which is I think strippers would kill it in any industry to go to
Hmm.
because they know how to work the system, female strippers. But I'm just from the guy perspective, for me to take off my pants and have women start laughing and like freaking out, that's not gonna help the show ladies. And depending on how To Live and Talk in LA pans out in 3 years, I might have to bottom out and do that. But that's besides the point.
That's why he's working out so much.
I'm like, I feel like men and women go to strip clubs for very different reasons. Um,
Probably.
I don't know what those reasons are, but like I said, if it's for the boys, I
Yeah.
am literally a boy. Like I will be the best wingman alive if I need to be. So I would put me in those situations, but I can't say that that would be the same for the majority of folks, you know?
Let me. I want to get your thoughts on this one. I'm having a good time here, guys. In the chat, my husband's lame ass friends only threw him a barbecue for his bachelor party, so I took him to a strip club myself.
Hey,
Let's go.
I picked our girls for our lap dances and picked girls that kind of look like me. I,
LMFAO. You gotta be comfortable, dude. That's
Okay.
an elevated relationship experience right there.
well, I mean, I was there. I know this whole story, but like, so Evelyn, you're not gonna take your dude to a strip club?
I might.
Right.
I
This
mean,
is
I get to be there. I don't know that I'd pick the ones that look like me. I might even go exact opposite because if I detect any sense of real interest and they look like me, like I'm mad, you know? At least if they don't look like me, I can pretend it's literally just like a Barbie, you know? I'm gonna throw like a blonde bimbo at him and be like, that's never gonna happen. You know that, right?
You
Right.
gotta let him pick. See what
I
he's
ha-
really about.
yeah
You know.
yeah.
Actually, yeah, I am curious.
Well, the rule of thumb is you can't go with your favorite. You have to go with the third favorite to kind of throw her off the scent.
Hmm.
And when the first favorite, like, I'm
Mm.
done with the third one. Like, I got a couple extra like 20s here and singles. Like, I think I'm gonna go
I
with this
guess I
one.
could go for a third dance.
I can do that.
Two wasn't enough.
I actually
What?
had
Do you do a third?
I had and I think we went to Jumbo's, and Jumbo's is like iconic in LA. Like it's like a place where it's not full nudity, so they can serve
It's like
alcohol.
burlesque, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like they
Like,
if
see, I'm down with that, which is like right next to female strippers. So what? I'll probably enjoy their dance moves actually, low key.
I remember in my late 20s, I went to Vegas, and I like maybe mid 20s because I had no money. I had no business being in a strip club, but my dudes wanted to go. And I said, "All right, man,
The
like
boys.
I'll go.
It's
Like,
tough, man. You gotta go.
you cover my cover, I will go." And I had the best conversation with a stripper.
They're
And
fun.
they're fun people. And the reason what happened was like in Vegas, you can smoke in the strip club. So like you're just chilling there, and I'm waiting for my dudes. I'm like, I'm not gonna like tap out early, so I'm gonna just sit here and smoke. That's all I have. I don't have any money for like I could probably buy one beer. And girls were coming up to me and they're like, "Hey," and I was like, and I told them straight out, just honest, I was like, I have no money. Like, I respect your hustle. You probably want to use that somewhere else. And everyone's like, all right, cool, whatever. There's like fucking like rich Koreans smoking Marlboro Reds over there. Um, and then this one stripper came up to me and she said, "Hey, like, I told her the same speech. She got no money. She's like, that's cool. Like, can I have a cigarette?" So she sat next to me, didn't sit on my lap. I was like, all right, I guess, sure. And like, we start talking and she knows I have no money, and I'm just like asking her dumb questions. And it turned out like, dude, she had a girlfriend who lived in San Diego. I learned that she was going to Vegas like maybe 4 days in a month to go make the money for a month worth, and then go back to San Diego because she was cleaning up. Because
Damn.
I had because I was going to my mind. I was like, wait, so they schedule you shifts and like you come here like in retail, like you
Bro, the
come in
grind
from
don't stop.
like these people, and I mean these people, I mean strippers. Literally, they just show up. You get in, you work the hours you want. The strip club's 24 hours, so it's always popping off, and you just make the money you go. And I was like, oh my god, like that's amazing. She's like, yeah, I have a girlfriend. She's great. She showed me a picture of her.
Awesome.
And then all of a sudden, I just started like, so who do you hate? And then she was like, so we started going around and she started pointing at people saying, oh, that girl up there on the pole, she's such a bitch. And like, I
Fuck
was
yeah,
like, I
dude.
Dude,
love
that's the
this. This is the
best.
best thing ever, dude. That was one of my most memorable strip club moments was getting the chisme from the
Dude,
stripper.
inner office drama is always prime, right?
Mhm.
Add a strip club setting,
Yeah.
and that just makes it so much more fun. What did they used to call these girls on TikTok? Were you guys remember that? Close to like
Hmm.
the pandemic, like financial planner or something. Like it was like code for strippers. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what they called him though.
What was it? Life is it? I don't know, but they're thriving out there, dude,
Life
and they're making
coaches.
the bills. Whatever it is, they should be coaching my life at this point. Who knows? I might be a stripper in 3 years just so I can make ends meet.
Hey, do what you got to do, man. You know
Dude,
what? I support all the
Accountant in the
ladies
chat.
doing what they got to
Accountant.
do. Oh, is that right?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, life is an quote unquote accountant. That girl is accounting, my dude.
yeah. Well,
Bringing in
okay.
the money.
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable making it rain singles on a chick, Evelyn?
First of all, I will make it rain singles any day of the week for anybody. Like anytime I have a stack of bills in my hand, it's going in the air. So absolutely, I am throwing that. I have no shame in that. Maybe I'm a different person out here. I also love the performance arts. So I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever's gonna make the vibe, the vibe. I'm not going to a strip club to pretend we're not giving her money, my dude.
Mhm.
We are
There you
making
go.
it rain.
That's right. You have to
I,
lean in if you're there with the boys. And once you're there with the boys, you're
It's
able
too
to
late,
do
dude.
more
You're
things.
there.
It's
oh,
like it
yeah.
opens this thing inside of you, and you're able to throw money at people,
Yeah,
in a
you
different
literally
way.
become one of the boys.
Yeah.
I think it's important for everyone to practice the form of making it rain on someone. I've seen some people with poor form like wad up dollar bills and throw it. I'm like, nah, dude, you gotta do it right. You
Get this
gotta
dude off the sticks. He's
practice
Dude,
over
whack.
your bed, people. Like put the dollar and then just make it rain like that. It's very classy, I think, when you do it that way, and it's you should do it.
it's
Practice
a
on your
beautiful
dog.
experience.
Practice
Yes.
Moving
your dog.
target. It's good.
I
I'm
mean,
like, key points. Don't forget to ask your family to save their cash bonuses so you can use that as an opportunity to make it rain on your familial pets.
hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, that's kind of cool, dude.
Well, I like this. We have a trip in the works at some point, so
Hmm.
we'll figure out the
We're gonna
dates.
we're gonna work on our form. uh, can we before we go? Can we talk about J-Lo?
Dude,
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I want to talk about J-Lo.
All right.
Victor, y- do you
Let
have the
me.
video? I
I'm
might have.
pulling up
I
the
don't know if I can
video.
hear it, but I already heard it. But
Give me one moment. This is for the viewers.
I like
So,
taking my hair out like this.
whoops. Okay,
Shout
ready?
out to my partially Puerto Rican gal. Way to represent.
oh, she is Puerto Rican, huh?
She is, dude. Jenny from the block.
Jenny from the block.
I
This is the wrong video. 1 second, guys. Keep talking.
Jenny from yeah. I mean, it. There is something cool about watching her rise to fame. And I don't know. I can't pinpoint when it happened because like I know she was a fly girl and then she started doing movies and then I remember she's an Anaconda. I'm like cool. And then she did the wedding planner and then all of a sudden she just became some mythical creature of like fame. And it's kind of like Taylor Swift with me, which I kind of didn't like. I missed the whole ramp up. It just and she's ended up there at the top, and I don't know how that happened.
All right, we got it ready. Mark,
All right.
I'm
there's
like,
actually
will she not tell
subtitles,
us?
so you're ready. You can also engage.
I like taking my hair out like this. It reminds me like when I was
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
16
talk
in
through
the
this in the
Bronx,
podcast because
running
it's
up and
gonna be
down
dead
the
air.
block. And crazy little girl used to
It reminds me like when I was
be
16 in the
wild and
Bronx,
no limits,
running up and
all
down the
dreams.
block.
And
Crazy little girl who used to expletive.
She's talking about she's sitting there with her bougie ass, okay, at the gym, roughing up her hair, talking about how she used to be this girl with dreams and aspirations, just living on the block, getting by doing what she could. And everybody's like, okay, J Lo, let's take it easy over here, dude. Who I don't know how to get in this headspace of talking about this way, but I just feel like she needs to go back to just being like out of touch because whatever this is, it's not working for me, dude.
Yeah, I saw on a comment where it was, Mariah Carey has owned her ascendance to completely out of touch diva queen,
She really has.
and it's totally fine to be that. I think it's kind of here's the other example of this one. It's like when NBA players make it out of the hood, Ja Morant, for example, and he's still trapping, doing hood rat shit with guns and doing things, or like you're still going back to the block, even though you made it, right? And at some point, you're not that person anymore. You're in a different bracket, socially and also in the bank. So you should act like accordingly. The reason why I like Jay-Z so much as he's gotten older is that he has grown with the times and he's become rich, and we aspire to be that. We don't want the same guy trapping. And for J Lo, we don't want her to be normal. She's not normal. She's J Lo.
But also imagine being like, how old is this gal? Like she's in her 40s, right? Oh,
She
see
might
what
be
I mean?
50, dude.
She might be in her 50s now. See, and that mindset has to
Yeah.
shift.
Are you guys
Okay, say
ready?
she's,
She's
yeah,
54. Yep. Anyways,
she
go
could
on.
be fucking that 92-year-old man. Um, so having babies, oh my gosh, is that Ben Affleck? Anyway, yeah, I don't imagine being fucking 54 and looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, yeah, this reminds me like when I was running around the streets in the hood when I was 16, but also being like a multimillionaire at the same time. Like that's out of touch. That's just not okay.
There's a
No, when
disconnect there.
if I
Yeah.
was rich, I all I would think about is what I would do if I can go back in time being rich and being out of touch when I was young. Like that's I watched Mariah Carey at the Hollywood Bowl for her Mariah Carey Does Christmas or whatever, her
That's all
holiday.
right. Yeah.
She could not have been more out of touch. Like three like changes, and it was completely diva-esque. And this is what we come for.
I
We
I
don't
love
come for
that
the
for her.
yeah. And I say that non-ironically. I love the fact that she is that chick because we all want to live that life, and it might be tiring day after day, but like we don't live that life and we want to live that through you. I
Also
think
closing the loop on the fact that she actually did her own stripper performance at the Super Bowl. Don't come back and try to go back to your street running at 16. I'm like, you're performing stripper moves for multi-million dollars right now, my friend.
yeah, well, I mean that I was gonna go with somewhere with that, which is I just want actually this is where I was gonna go with the fact that social media has killed a celebrity, honestly, because think about it, we're old enough, all three of us in this call, some older than others. It's me. Um, we did not know what Brad Pitt was doing on a day-to-day basis. We did not know what Jennifer Aniston was doing. We did not know what Madonna was doing. They were not doing normal people things as far as we were aware. And then social media happened, and we can go up the ramp of technology, which I can still remember when the internet wasn't cool. It's like, oh, yeah, like you go on the internet, it's fucking for losers. Now everyone's on the internet, and there's more history, less mystery, which is we know what the celebrities are doing, and they're just like us. They're shopping for groceries, they're doing things, and we don't want that. We want people to have this kind of iconic status, and we're not getting that when we see you on a day-to-day basis. And now the celebrities are trying to be like us. You're not us.
I need her to have her own made in Manhattan. You know? Like she should be the one that made it for us. I don't want her talking about her street running at 16. Leave the hood. Thrive and survive. I don't know. Just my thoughts.
No, I
You
love
guys are
that,
not
dude.
wrong, dude. J Lo, it's a flop. She's getting raked over the coals on TikTok right now for trying to be dramatic and talking about the good old days. Sorry, girl. You can't have that
It's
anymore, dude.
it's literally like you said this to me. Victor, which is it's kind of like Michael Scott ish vibes.
Yeah.
It, and and I don't
You don't want to
know,
be
man.
Michael Scott.
No,
No,
no.
no, it is
Well,
Michael Scotty.
it just the I don't know, man. But it also freaks me out. It freaks me out because maybe this is TMI for you guys, but like when I'm in a shower and I'm like getting ready, I look in the mirror, I start like hyping myself up, like I got this, dude. And I thought I'd grow out of it. And I'm 37, I haven't grown out of it yet. I'm still freestyling to myself, calling
You
myself
need
an
that, dude.
idiot, and like
Damn, yeah.
now, like seeing J Lo at 54, she's still doing it. It's like me getting pimples at this age. It's still happening, dude. When is this going to change? When am I going to become like an adult?
When is the light at the end of the tunnel, dude? Because I just don't see it anymore.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
acne's still happening at 30. So if somebody else finds that formula, y'all let me know.
I'm just I have a pimple on like my head right now. It really upsets me.
I have one right
It's the
here,
worst.
and then every day, every time we're gonna do the show on Wednesdays, I'm like, I gotta feel this little thing. I gotta get rid of it, and I try to
Mm.
get rid of it, and it gets more red every time. 30 minutes before the show, and I can't get rid of it. I don't know what it is anymore.
Does your
That's
girl like
like
popping your pimples?
Um, I don't really, I don't really give her access like that. No,
Oh, that's
I
right.
don't. We don't do that.
No?
I have dated girls who like doing that, and I
Mm.
know, like, my mom watches pimple videos on TikTok, and I just find that so repulsive. Like, I can't.
I'll watch
I
the
don't have to do
videos,
that.
but I won't do the action. Like,
No.
but I'll watch like a blackhead. I don't want to see
Oh,
cystic shit. Like, I'm
it's
good on
making
that.
me. This is like grossing me out so bad. Like, I can't even think about it. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Wait, so Evelyn, you don't pop your dude's pimples?
No, no, I don't go there. It's a
Mm.
germ thing for me, I think. Like, I don't want to cry. I don't want to get that infected. Then it isn't my problem.
Mark is feeling
It's your
judged
problem.
because we don't like
Why
that.
are you like that? Are you like that?
No, dude, the Guatemalan will fucking like she gets excited. I wish she would get excited to see me just in general. She gets excited when I have pimples. And it's like, all right, like and I don't want I fight it every time. I'm like, I don't want this. And she's like, no, you have to. You look stupid. And I say, I don't care. I'll
Wow.
deal with it. And then she gets me in a headlock and she'll fucking pop the pimple and it hurts.
That
And
is
I'm
pretty Guatemalan of her,
and
That's
I'm
the thing.
screaming. I'm
Yeah.
like yelling, ouch, dude. And she's like, stop it. Now, like, what? Like, please, I'm begging for dear life. Like, don't.
I used to
And she
date a
does it.
girl who would do that, and I was always screaming in pain too, and she would minimize. And
Um,
I'm like, no, like, you're getting a sick pleasure out of this. You don't care how
no
much pain
means
I'm
no.
in. They can't tell how sensitive something is. So they're just there hitting it with a jackhammer, and I'm in pain, dude. And they don't care because guys are supposed to be okay with that and don't be a little bitch, they say. It's like, come on, dude.
Dude, like the face, like my back. Like, the fact that I'm 37 and getting back pimples still really pisses me off. And the fact that I hope one day I have no pimples and I'll see how she likes it. It's like, look at this now.
She's probably gonna be so furious.
And she's gonna like load up my food with oil. Like
She's
instead of injecting it with butter or poison, she'll just start injecting it with a mad oil.
gonna
And I'm like,
start giving you dirty
Could be
pillowcases only
happening
and shit.
already, dude. Yeah, she could be sabotaging you
Oh
and you being
shit,
oh my
fine.
god,
yeah. Oh
maybe
my
she
God.
is.
She's
Dude,
like
that's
rubbing a stick of
why.
butter on your forehead when you're asleep, you know?
I know, man. She's giving me chocolate all the time, like just like mashing it into
Just
my
saying.
salads. I'm like, oh, these dates are pretty good, and it's like, nah, man, it's a full chocolate effect.
She's
She might
making
be,
sure you're eating well and doing that stuff. That's a
yeah.
good thing. Latino women pretend, oh, it's a culture thing. I just want to make sure you're good. No, they're feeding you poison, dude. I don't know
Yeah,
about
they're
her
getting ready to murder
specifically.
you.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's possible.
No,
Dude.
I can second that as a half-blooded Guatemalan. Yeah, that's definitely what's going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll have to be mindful of that next time she pops my pimples. I'm like, you're trying to kill me.
Just give it a sniff.
You're trying to give me acne. I'm trying to like shed this, dude. Like I'm in my glow up era, and I can't take the acne with me. That ain't it. Well, guys, I think that's a good place to end. Did you have fun, E?
I always have fun with you guys. Thanks for having me. I'll be back eventually one day. I'm
Yeah, man.
inviting myself. Like I
Yeah.
run this shit. This is your pod. Let me handle your business.
Well, until then, where can they find you?
Guys, come find me on Spotify Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your podcasts, as Mark Lee would say. Not on YouTube right now for the contemporary stuff because they're plotting against me as they do on To Live and Talk in LA. So find us right now on all those things and right here on To Live and Talk in LA next time I'm around.
Victor, where can they find us?
We are To Live and Talk in LA. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, what have you. We're also live streaming on Twitch and YouTube every Wednesday. So check us out, guys, live at 7:30.
Tell your friends, honestly.
Do it.
Like I keep
Seriously.
begging you. Tell your
Yeah.
friends, leave a review, and just do it. For the love of God, please. We need you. We need you. And we'll see you